In the news update part 2 for Thursday, April 29th, 2018. Well, Mr. Clark, who is a 22-year-old black man, was shot 20 times in the backyard of his mother's house as the protests continue in Sacramento, California. We said San Diego, so we need to correct that. Sacramento, California. His funeral services will be held today as protests continue because he had only on his hand, the police thought he had a gun, and they shot him 20 times because they thought it was a gun when in reality it was only a smartphone that was in his hand. And that's why they shot him, and that's why these protests continue or going on. Not saying the police did anything wrong there, but there are some racial issues there, possibly. We're not sure, but there could be. And maybe they should have got a better look at that to see what he was carrying before they opened fire on him like they did precariously. That's my take on it. Let's go to another story. As we know, Henrico County Public Schools had a safety meeting last night. They have over 77 schools and centers that they want to protect of safety due to the shootings and because of the shootings that have happened all over the country and other suspicious activity that have happened, that they want to protect. And just like they said at the meeting last night, they do monitor social media that people are on, like kids that are on, like Facebook, Pinterest, Snapchat, all those social medias that they use, after school app, so forth. All these Instagram, I say Pinstagram, but Instagram, all these things are being monitored by police, like we said, in Hanover, Henrico, and probably everywhere. Because a lot of the reason why they monitor these things is because they do it for safety reasons, because they want to make sure that the violence does not spill over into the public schools or vice versa, spill over into the communities at large where these kids live. Remember how we said there are gangs, and a lot of that's how that happens, and how things are transmitted a lot of times is through social media, like these, like a couple of these popular ones that most kids use currently, and that's what they monitor to be sure, so they can ensure that this communities and schools will be safe, and that's why Henrico County Public Schools had a meeting. But like I said last night, they do monitor social media like we told you about, and they do it everywhere. Police are doing that everywhere, not just in Henrico. So just to let you know that social media is being monitored. So like I've always say, be careful what you post. Be careful what you say, because it could come back to haunt you, like I've always stated. And it's a good thing that they're monitoring it. But sometimes it could be a bad thing if someone gets set up. That could be bad. But, I understand why they have to do it, or why they see there's a need to do it, because of all the shootings and because of all these things that are happening with children, like with pedophiles and things, and also, with the drug activities and with other related activities. That's why a lot of these counties and cities are monitoring all social media, because, like I say, it does go into the communities and it does go into the schools. A lot of times it will spill over into there and vice versa. So they have to do it because of the climate that we live in today. And yeah, it is a little intrusive, because I agree it is. But if when you live in a world that we live in with all this stuff going on, that's why the police have agencies or task force that are doing this, which is a good idea, because that way it can stop or help prevent these things before they do spill over into communities at large, or in schools, in the public schools, which a lot more is where it happens than in communities than everywhere else. So that's what their meeting was about last night in Henrico County. And of course, we'll be right back. Also, in the first news update, we do want to say this as a safety tip, that you should always call the company of the people that are out at your place. As we reported earlier, that there were 2 people, clean shaven, one Hispanic origin, one white male, that were young, that appeared to be wearing work uniforms and claimed to go into this old man's apartment in Chesterfield, or home, residence, not apartment, but home, in Chesterfield County, and they went in there and distracted him and took money. What they're saying is to call the company to find out if they really sent somebody out, and also to get the ID and get their credentials and see them. And they should display it on their uniform, or they should display it in the form of papers or documents, and also to get their IDs, and also call to see if these people really work for the company before they enter your home. Just have them wait outside and lock your door, not just a screen door, but your house door, because they could actually break through that if they were bad people. So, if you go to check them out, make sure you have the phone with you in hand and keep your eyes on them at all times, and call the company to verify that they really are sent out. If somebody strange comes to your apartment or house, always check their ID and call the actual company that they claim to be with to make sure that they are legit and that they really do work for that company. So anyway, this is just some of the stories in the news update from DeSilvis' Media today, curated for you for March the 29th, 2018, Thursday. Take care. This is Michael from Love FM and in the news update, DeSilvis' Media.